and June 2024. WLU Press 50th Anniversary Exhibition at RLAG, WLU. Welcome to our publishing house. In the accommodating space of the Robert Langan Art Gallery, we have created an exhibition that represents the ways we see WLU Press existing in the world. On the Laurier campus, in various office spaces over the course of time, in the homes of our readers, where our authors' books are read, listened to, and enjoyed, and overarchingly in public spaces like universities, art galleries, and of course libraries, where our authors and we collaborate to make lasting contributions to collective education and entertainment. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, the first use of the word publisher appeared in print as early as 1453. Even more relevant for our purposes here is the first appearance in 1819 of the use of publishing house, a term building on the longer history of publisher that provides us with the metaphor of choice for our 50th anniversary exhibition. Here in this house, we have striven to represent some of the most important and impressive aspects of WLU Press's 50-year history. In our office space, you will find aspects of our daily work across the departments of a university press: list building or acquiring editorial, managing editorial, production, including books and digital projects, and sales and marketing. There are drawers to rifle, files to peruse, reference books and tools to pick up and explore. In our office, there is, of course, a computer. Don't hesitate to sit down and click on the materials to learn still more. You'll also notice nods toward the 5 decades of office life. Current press colleagues have curated this material and prepared commentaries, written and visual, on the work with these materials. We welcome your engagement with all of it. Sit at the desk, make yourself comfortable, and take it in. When the workday is over, we head from one house to another. In the domestic space, we readily imagine our titles sitting on shelves, on coffee tables, on desks. Relax with a book of your choice from the shelves and take some time to notice the ways book designs have changed over decades. Consider the range of intended readers, as evidenced by our authors' many books. Over our 50 years, we have published almost 900 titles. Almost all of them are here in the living room. On the home computer, you'll find a range of our audio productions, as recent years have been marked by our embrace of audio forms of publication, including scholarly podcasts and audiobooks. Don the headphones and click on the material on the computer to hear some of this work in the comfort of home. Between work and home, we have curated a selection of photographs and text that represent aspects of our work and the work of the many press colleagues over the decades, represented on a timeline and in a slideshow. We hope you'll enjoy your time in our house and that you'll leave us with some of your reflections in our red guest book. Siobhan McMenemy, Interim Director, WLU Press. Now we are approaching the office space, which we have used some very handy portable walls to create the impression of, as well as furniture from our actual office, which we've brought down for the sake of this show. Our offices are on the 4th floor of the library. The gallery is on the main floor of the library. Sorry, we're on the 4th floor of the library. We have an array of the kinds of things people put on their bulletin boards in their office. And likewise, we have various files for people to peruse. Here are some marketing and sales files for one of our marketing and sales coordinator Claire Hitchens' favorite titles. All kinds of materials from the book, from launches, work that gets done in the marketing and sales department. Representing it in the video is not quite the same thing as experiencing it for yourself. This is an event file for this. And also on the wall, posters, some of our recent covers, and a poster of a film based on one of our books by Anne Dagg. Can't have an office without a calendar, of course. And over the years, we've had various types of technology running our lives in the office, including this one, which is a favorite of mine. It's going to make noise. Beautiful, beautiful job. And various members of our press have created on this computer files for the various departments that represent the kind of work that we do. If I go to Lindsay Honeywell's production files, here is an array of things that she uses day to day. There's an example of a cover in design mode. She also produced a welcome bit of text, which is too long for me to read out, I'm afraid, but I'm going to just record. Sorry for the shaking, but there we are. And then we have two types of editorial files: managing editorial, acquiring, or I prefer list building files for a particular book, and this is the book. We chose this book as a representative book because it's fairly recent, but it's also very playful and a critical look at the publishing industry in its many incarnations over the years and in its present form. Anne Brackenbury, our senior editor, and I did some work on this file, annotating it with comments on what we do day to day. Again, I'm going to just give a sample. And then Murray Tong, our managing editor, did the same for his sample file. And we have some relics from the past. You're not going to see an ashtray in our offices anymore, nor are you going to see one of these beautiful things, or for that matter, one of those. And probably not these either, but I'm going to take a picture of them because I do love them. They're hilarious. A little bit of early swag. Looks like a passport. Not quite sure why. And it's just a pocket calendar, because like I said, can't be a publishing house without calendars. As much as I'd like to read this bit of text that sits here at our workspace, I will not. There it is. And then over here, well, we've got some production texts and materials. We've got some ARCs, advanced reading copies, that stands for. Production materials, marketing materials. We've got a whole slew of educator guides and guide to academic podcasting, a manifesto, the things we do. It's a fun place. And then this fantastic display of just some of the cover designs that we went through in order to arrive at a final cover for this particular publication. And some old covers, cover proofs, I'm going to just say for the record, these two covers use art created by my mum, Cynthia McMenemy. Proofs, very, very fancy color proofs for books that were very, very fancily produced with color plates. Bound, an example of bound proofs, and more production material. And then as the text goes, one might then amble on home. And here we are, whoops, at home, hang up our bags, our work bag, on the coat rack. More examples of swag. More examples of my family's contribution. These things apparently sometimes do run in the family. And then over here, at home, in our living room, or part of our living room, I'm going to back up so you can see this attractive corner. We have a home computer set up with a fantastic microsite designed for the exhibition, and it will eventually migrate to our website, our press's website, created by our digital projects coordinator, Maya Desjardins. I'm just trying to get the screen properly in focus. It's a beautiful site that explains, as this document does too, the ways in which the press has been embracing technology through the ages, happy to experiment with new technology. And here we are creating one web page specifically for our anniversary. Beautiful design. Lots of audio material to explore. Too much text again to read, but lots to explore. Audiobooks. Here, if you were visiting, you would be able to check out some of the samples with our conveniently placed headphones. And then there's a little taste of the kind of texts we have in our archives. Early 1979 article about early computer messaging between University of Calgary and a former press director and current WLU press staff of the period. And then when one tires of being on a computer at the end of the day, one naturally turns to books, don't we? These, I'm going to back up, there are enough of them that I have to. These are WLU Press's 50 years of book publishing, including a lovely array of music texts, or not textbooks, but books, on our living room piano. Rather envious of this piano. Lots to see on the bookshelves, of course. We've displayed, for example, an array of translations of our authors' books. Those are the books that we published. And then we have the translations of the same books. We have various series featured, various authors. It's a trio of Edna Stabler's work. And there's the first book in the Life Writing series. There's a very successful, long-standing course text that is in its 5th edition. This is another successful multi-edition text, which I'm going to feature because I can. And I think it deserves to be featured, given its successes over the years as well. So many fantastic books. And series. There's our living room, Chesterfield with coffee table books. Local artists, photographer, local sites. This is rather interesting. Very early book from the press, and then just this year, 2024, another book on Elora Gorge. What's fun is to look at the two books side by side and notice that some of the photographs are of the same views. This is a bit of press coverage for the publication of this book. Also very early in our history. And then, from our living room, we leave the comfort of home to, I'm just going to get a picture of these people. This is the current staff. I've got to back up. Oops. We'll get to that again. Timeline, as promised. I'm going to back up again. Try to get more of this in as a single shot. Oh shoot, something's fallen on it. I'll fix that. That's one of the problems of the humidity of this time of year. This is a timeline that represents the kind of coverage that our press and our books and our authors and our undertakings have received over the years, and some key documents from the university. This was a press release to acknowledge the founding of the press. And this is the document that was released by the appropriate committee recognizing the decision to found the press. Early coverage of books, early tech. There's a whole fantastic series of photographs and articles about the press, early journal, Canadian Journal of Political Science, and its editor, Siobhan McMenemy. And the press. There's the first imprint, the first logo. I'm not going to really be doing justice to this display because I can't quite get everything on, but this gives you a sense of some fun early, well, actually not that early, 1994 in-house memos. Michael Snow called to say the book looks terrific. He is very happy, said Sandra Wolfrey, then director of the press. No doubt much to the delight of everybody working here. Then, articles. Small but proud, and in fact we were referred to more recently by the jury of the Ontario Arts Council as small but mighty, which pleased all of us very much. I see. Somebody has attempted to help us with sliding timelines. And another letter to Michael Snow, which details some of our work and our new website. This is a screen capture of our earliest website, next to two very different kinds of technology. Early book production on the bottom, and a CD that was produced to go with one of our book publications. And there's this news. We're getting closer and closer to the period that I am familiar with. This is some of the work that I initiated. This is the first peer-reviewed scholarly podcast. Hannah McGregor's podcast, peer-reviewed by WLU Press. That is our first, or it's not our first in fact, but it's an early digital catalog. We've gone all digital. And we co-founded a scholarly podcast network. And there's some news concerning those activities from University Affairs. We are a Benetech certified accessible publisher, which is a very big deal. We were one of the first in Canada. Audiobooks. And our anniversary logo. And then I'm going to turn away from the timeline and toward this fantastic slideshow, which is the last component of our show, of our exhibition. There we are setting up the exhibition. Some of us, that's Maya, Murray, and Anne. Anne and me on the left. Anne and me in the middle, actually. And Lindsay and Maya. And there are photographs of the exhibition. That's very meta. And here we are. Me on the left, Claire Hitchens, Maya Desjardins, Anne Brackenbury, Lindsay Hunnewell, and Marie Tong. And there we are in front of our timeline. Very proud of the many, many, many hours of work setting it up, and here we are being silly in the exhibition office space, and here we are feeling very proud indeed. And these are some of our series logos. Not all of our series have logos, but these are some. And then we did our best to recognize the press staff over the years, and we certainly apologize if we have missed you. Please contact us if we did, because we would like a complete list. Eventually these slides will go on our website. And then it'll be easier to read. But I'm going to stand here and duly record this. Maybe I should just get in a little closer. It's rather difficult to hold these phones steadily, I'm afraid. So there it is. And as I say, one final shot of the group of us, the current WLU press. And thanks to all of our various supporters. And thank you for visiting our exhibition. I'm Siobhan McMenemy.